Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review a certain Lego movie, that being Piece by Piece. I did do a review on this movie, but I privated it because the audio was really bad, so I'm just gonna do a refresher review. This came out in October, and I tried to go see it, but my schedule was too busy and my friend's schedule was busy, so we were unable to see this movie because it was not shown in many theaters. It was very limited until they finally put it on Peacock. I don't know if it's still going to be on there very long, but it's there. But this is definitely a unique Lego movie. Ever since the Lego Movie 2, I always wondered, when are we going to get another theatrically released Lego movie? Since, the rights, I'm pretty sure, are getting changed for the Lego movies for the future. But apparently, this is the movie they decided to do. A biopic about Pharrell Williams, a musician. I wasn't too familiar with Pharrell and his music. I know his song Because I'm Happy. But other than that, I don't know much about the singer. But because of this movie, I decided to go check out some of Pharrell's music. And his music is really good. And this movie has made me appreciate the artist a lot more. It shows his more deeper, inspirational side. But the director of the movie is basically the interviewer throughout the whole movie, Morgan Neville, who interviews Pharrell, whose entire biopic is put into Lego form. He basically imagines his life, but in Lego pieces. And throughout this whole movie, we see from Pharrell raising his child, but then they time jump all the way to when he was born, when he was growing up with his parents, and learning from his grandmother, all the way to when he becomes the singer that we know him to be. So there is a lot of celebrity cameos in this movie that are basically Legos. But it's disappointing we didn't get a CMS draft for these characters, because that would have been a lot of fun to see rapper versions in Lego. But throughout this whole movie, I thought Pharrell's story was inspiring because it's inspiring because it encourages people to follow their dreams in some way, and encourages that anybody can have imagination if they just put their mind to it. That's what I really like about this movie, because we all have things we dream of in life, and Pharrell is definitely a good inspiration in my opinion. I don't know if it is for you people, but what he says in this movie is really good. The way he answers the questions, he goes from a boy who just wanted to do simple music to not really being the best student in school to working at McDonald's, all the way to where we see him where he records his music at the studio, and we see him growing up with the various artists that I'm not really that familiar with. We do see artists like Snoop Dogg, Justin Timberlake. We probably see a bunch of others that I have no clue who they are. But honestly, this movie probably wouldn't work for some people if you're not into this kind of style of music or biopic. But like I said, this movie is inspiring for Pharrell. It shows that he is a deep person for what he tells throughout his life. But I think the main thing that drives him was his passion for music. When he's working at the music studio after he was done with school. But he basically took a lot of risks when he was getting sort of famous with his music. We even see his side of the story where he spent his career being arrogant, starting deals with random business deals, and it just drove him mad. But the biggest thing that happens in this movie, unfortunately, his grandmother passes away, and it actually hurts Pharrell throughout his career. It makes him rethink his life a lot better. But he decides to take his life in a different direction once he does meet his wife. And I even like the line where, like, he asks her, like, do you love him? Do you want to marry him? And she's like, no. And then he's like, then you don't love him. But the two end up hanging out. And then they eventually get married. And then we see Pharrell's kid as a Lego baby. But the main thing about this movie is the animation. It actually looks super beautiful, in my opinion. I've always loved the style of Lego animation, like everything looking like a Lego. We saw all the glow-up pieces when Pharrell is using his albums or whatever. We even see Lego versions of famous songs that we know that I probably don't know, since I'm not the biggest music expert, but I know there's a lot of people who are. But they just look like Legos, in my opinion. No wonder this movie is called Piece by Piece. But there's just so much to analyze with this movie, in my opinion. But some of the songs we do hear in Pharrell is like we see a Lego version of Because I'm Happy. That song basically drove Pharrell to be a hit throughout his career. And it also shows probably my favorite Pharrell song, probably Daft Punk. And we even see like Lego versions of the characters. It's even on this poster, which was really nice. They even have a big message throughout this movie at the very end, where he teaches his audience about how Black Lives Matter. And some people probably won't like that. It's a very political topic, but it's important to raise awareness of the issues in our world. And that's what Pharrell is trying to do throughout this whole movie. But I do like at the very end, it just becomes like a giant music video in a Lego form. But yeah, this movie is pretty short. It's only like an hour and a half. But I'm probably going to watch it multiple times. But I'm glad I watched Piece by Piece. Is it as good as the Lego movies? No. But it's definitely an underrated Lego movie, in my opinion. Because I don't see people talking about this movie enough. They even made like a Lego set of Pharrell Williams. Like there's even like a rocket ship he imagines in the movie. And they eventually made that into a set, which I thought was really cool. And they even gave us like a little Pharrell Williams Lego. I don't know if I wanted to buy that set, since, it's hard to keep track of all the Legos we have. I gotta be careful when I buy stuff for my collection with Legos. But whatever they do with this movie, I'm really looking forward to whatever they do next with Lego in their movies. I hope DC does like more Lego animation still. I don't know if they're still gonna do that. But whatever Lego does, I'm definitely going to continue buying Lego, unless I need to go find more space for my sets. But that's a different topic. So I'd give Piece by Piece probably a 7 out of 10. I don't think I had any issues with it, since my only issue with the movie is just like, I don't know, I'm not too familiar with the source material, so it was hard to be too much engaged with the movie. But if you're like a giant Pharrell fan and all the artists in this movie, you're probably going to get a big kick out of this movie. So yeah, that's Piece by Piece. So that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.